Before your next KFC order, pull up KFC's own published ingredient list. The frying oil your chicken is cooked in contains TBHQ, a petroleum-derived preservative linked to neurological damage in animal studies. A single original recipe chicken breast delivers over 1,100 milligrams of sodium, nearly half your daily maximum, before a single side is added. This is what they put in the bucket. Drop a comment if you already knew. 6 documented problems, 1 bucket. Here is what KFC's own ingredient disclosure confirms, and what their marketing has never mentioned. Problem 1. TBHQ in the frying oil. KFC's frying oil, used across its original recipe chicken, extra crispy chicken, French fries, and popcorn chicken, contains TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroquinone. This is confirmed directly on KFC's own published US ingredient disclosure. TBHQ is a petroleum-derived synthetic antioxidant preservative. The FDA permits it at a maximum of 0.02% of the oil or fat content in a food product. Animal studies have documented that chronic TBHQ exposure is associated with neurological damage, liver enlargement, and lymphoma risk. Human studies have documented vision disturbances at high doses. The EWG flags TBHQ as a high concern ingredient in its food database. The fact that TBHQ appears in a fast food chain's frying oil is not a secret. It is on the ingredient disclosure. What is not on the menu board, not on the tray liner, and not in any KFC marketing material is the word TBHQ. The oil your chicken is pressure fried in contains a petroleum-derived preservative that the FDA permits in food, while the EWG simultaneously flags as a high concern additive. Both of those things are documented facts. Problem 2. Sodium load per meal. A single original recipe chicken breast from KFC contains over 1,100 milligrams of sodium, confirmed in KFC's own US nutritional disclosure. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day for most adults, and ideally no more than 1,500 milligrams for adults with high blood pressure, a condition affecting over 70% of Americans aged 65 and older, according to the CDC. That one chicken breast, before mashed potatoes, before gravy, before a biscuit, before any beverage, delivers between 47 and 73% of the daily sodium limit, depending on your health status. A standard KFC combo meal with a chicken breast, mashed potatoes with gravy, and a biscuit can exceed 2,500 milligrams of sodium in a single sitting. For seniors managing heart disease or hypertension, that sodium load triggers fluid retention, elevated blood pressure, and increased cardiac workload in a single meal. The seasoning system that makes KFC taste the way it does is built on salt, MSG, and sodium phosphate, 3 separate sodium-delivering ingredients stacked on top of each other, across the marinade, the breading, and the cooking process. Problem 3. Sodium phosphate injection into the chicken. KFC's chicken is not simply seasoned on the outside. The verified ingredient list for KFC original recipe chicken confirms that the chicken breast contains up to 25% of a solution, meaning the meat has been injected with a solution of water, seasoning, soy protein concentrate, and sodium phosphate before it is breaded and fried. A 2012 peer-reviewed study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that inorganic phosphate additives in processed foods, unlike the naturally occurring phosphorus in whole foods, are absorbed by the body at a dramatically higher rate, with documented negative effects on kidney function, vascular health, and bone mineral density over time. Problem 4. Dimethylpolysiloxane, silicone in the fryer. KFC's frying oil contains dimethylpolysiloxane, confirmed on KFC's own published US ingredient disclosure as an anti-foaming agent added to the cooking oil. Dimethylpolysiloxane is an industrial silicone polymer. It is the same base compound used in silicone caulk, breast implants, and industrial lubricants. The FDA permits its use in food-grade applications at up to 10 parts per million as a defoamer. KFC uses it specifically to prevent the frying oil from foaming when wet, battered chicken is lowered into the fryer, which would otherwise cause dangerous oil spills at high temperature. It performs a legitimate industrial function. Problem 5. Antibiotic use in the supply chain. KFC is owned by Yum Brands, headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky, with over $7 billion in annual revenue. In its most recent antibiotics policy scorecard published by NRDC, the Natural Resources Defense Council, KFC received a failing grade for its antibiotic stewardship practices. NRDC evaluates major fast food chains on whether they have committed to sourcing chicken raised without medically important antibiotics, the class of drugs used both in human medicine and in industrial chicken farming to promote rapid growth and prevent disease in crowded CAFO conditions. KFC publicly committed in 2017 to eliminating human-use antibiotics from its chicken supply by 2018 in the United States in 2017. NRDC's ongoing scorecard evaluations have consistently flagged KFC for insufficient third-party verification of that commitment, meaning the policy exists on paper, but no independent auditing system confirms that supplier farms are actually complying. Problem 6. CAFO chicken conditions and paw lesions. The chickens that supply KFC in the United States are raised in concentrated animal feeding operations, CAFOs, industrial facilities where tens of thousands of birds are raised at densities that Compassion in World Farming and other animal welfare researchers have documented as causing painful paw lesions, hawk burns, and gait abnormalities in a significant proportion of the flock. KFC publicly acknowledged as far back as 2010 that approximately a third of its chickens suffer from painful leg conditions due to crowding, according to investigative reporting cited by Mel magazine. The conditions under which CAFO chickens are raised, confinement density, light cycles designed to accelerate growth, and selective breeding for rapid breast meat development, have been documented in peer-reviewed agricultural science as producing birds whose musculoskeletal systems cannot adequately support their own weight at slaughter age. If you have been eating KFC regularly, and none of these 6 points appeared on anything you have ever seen at a KFC location, drop a comment below, because every one of them is documented in publicly available federal records, KFC's own ingredient disclosures, and peer-reviewed research. None of it required a leak. It just required reading the ingredient list. The bottom line, what you can actually do. KFC is not going to change its frying oil, its phosphate injection practices, or its CAFO supply chain based on one video. Yum Brands reported $7.1 billion in revenue in 2024, a number built on the exact formulation this video has documented. But the consumer who understands that every piece of original recipe chicken contains TBHQ preserved frying oil, sodium phosphate injected meat, and a sodium load that can exceed half the daily recommended maximum in a single piece, that consumer is making a different kind of decision at the drive-thru than the one who does not. If you do order at KFC, the grilled chicken option, where available, eliminates the TBHQ frying oil and significantly reduces the sodium. Corn on the cob and green beans are the sides with the lowest sodium and the fewest additives. If you are cooking fried chicken at home, avocado oil or refined coconut oil at proper temperature, without TBHQ, without dimethylpolysiloxane, and with chicken you sourced directly, eliminates every documented concern in this video simultaneously. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos.